Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Dear students, today we learn about the jQuery, which is kind of easy and fun. It's not something which you can't do. It's very easy and it's kind of fun. Um, so what is jQuery basically? It's a JavaScript library. So if you have to write a code in a JavaScript, it is going to take a lot of time and lots of lines of code will be minimized by using the jQuery. So it is a library, it's a JavaScript library which is used on top of it. So this one is w3cschools.com. So anytime you want to learn the web development and all, you should come to this site quite often. Okay, quite often you should be here, because this site has everything for learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Python, and many more things. Okay, so better you come here all the time. So I have not made my own PPT for this, so I'm just going through this site. This is always recommended by everybody. So it's gonna, simple thing is it's off shelf, some libraries, plug and play stuff. You can use them. You don't have to write the code of your own. This is the jQuery, and we have on top of the JavaScript we have the jQuery, and on top of that we have got the jQuery UI, user interface. Okay, so I'm saying we got a JavaScript here. How to write on it? Wait a second. So we got the JavaScript, and on top of it we got the jQuery, which is a library built over the JavaScript to make things easier. And over the jQuery we got the jQuery UI. Okay, so we are going to deal with you have in the syllabus jQuery UI basically, not the jQuery. So before we deal with jQuery UI, we should understand the jQuery, right? Okay, now you can read from this site a lot of things for it. Now we go for so you have to be, we have read the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Now it's time to go for the lightweight. What's maximum time? The dialog is write less, do more JavaScript library. So you don't have to write many things, but you can do a lot of stuff, because this is just kind of a plug and play things. And jQuery can be used with everything. It can be used with the JavaScript, Ajax, HTML, CSS. It has utilities also. It can take handle of anything you like. Okay, and all the big companies, Google, Microsoft, IBM, they are using jQuery. So how you will get the jQuery? There are two ways to get the jQuery. You have to download the jQuery library from jQuery.com, or you can include jQuery from CDN like Google. So this is already here. This is my jQuery.com. Here you can download the jQuery library. You can download. There is a production and this is development. This is in the production, it's a compressed one. In development, it's a code, you can see the code and all. This is the latest version of it, but then you have to include that file with your project. Okay, so we can right click and save the link as, and it will save it as whatever that is into your whatever you want to find. Say for example download it. So for example I say save it, so it's gonna download it where you want to download it exactly. So you have to download it in a project file where you are trying to work, because all the code is written for you in that file. Okay, this is the one. Second thing is, you may say jQuery UI, maybe jQuery sorry, not UI, CDN. I'm saying jQuery, QUERY, CDN. So you can download the jQuery CDN from the jQuery.com, and okay, so this is the jQuery CDN. If you say this is the latest version, say for example uncompressed form, so this is the script. This is the source, http code.jQuery.com, and whatever the version that is and where that is stored and all that. So what is this using the CDN, or you want to download it from the, you want to download it. CDN basically means that firstly the download means that you are using, I told you there are two versions, product and development version. Okay, in the product version it's compressed. Okay, in development version it's uncompressed, you can see the code and it's a readable code and all that. But if you don't want readable code and all, you can go for the product version, because anyways we don't have to read that, we have to just use that. But at all, if you want to just see into the peep into the code, you can then download the development version. So you can both ways. And then you have to tell the script source, like we created the JavaScript separate file, same is this file as a separate file. Then you have to, like we said in PHP, include, or in C we say hash include stdio.h. In PHP we said include the file, particular file. And here we said in a JavaScript we have learned that we say source. In the script we have the source, that this file has to be .js JavaScript file. As you could see, it is a JavaScript file. It has to be loaded. It has to be included. But if you use the content delivery network, CDN, so CDN does what? CDN says that you will use these files online. You will get it downloaded from the servers, from the hosts like Google, Microsoft, or whatever you use. CDN, for example, this CDN, okay, if you could see here, this is the same jQuery file, but this time it is loaded on the some server. Okay, so this is what we are telling. That means we are saying our browser that use the jQuery libraries online. So you need internet for that. So this is the one way, but we're not going to do that. You can copy this and put it into your file, or you will download. Better is to download, because if you have no internet, then your jQuery code will not work, because it has to get the library from the from online. If you use the CDN, okay, what is CDN? Content Delivery Network. So better is to download the things in a file, include that file in your file where you want to use the jQuery. Then the one thing you need to learn from the jQuery, and you can do everything in it, it has only this thing here, which is, let me select the pen again, tools, pen, and so on. Pen is here. It has this thing. We say $, okay, it's not writing, that's not pen, screenwriter, pen, okay, width, color, yeah, it's writing. So what I'm saying is you have a $sign, the $sign, or you write the jQuery, it's one and the same thing. Okay, you write jQuery or you write here $, it is one and the same thing. Then you want to write here something which you want to find something. I would say find something. The find something could be your HTML tags. Okay, it could be your HTML tags, like a button. So you are finding the button and you want to do something with the button. You want to find the p tag. Okay, you want to find, say, the div tag, the div, or any whatever there is in HTML, you can write here. That's the selector. So that's why we say $selector. Selector means anything. It could be HTML, it could be CSS, it could be Ajax, it could be your JavaScript, or anything. Dot, then action. What do you want to do when we hit that, when we found that? Say for example, you got a p tag. Say I'm saying $, okay, and then a p tag dot. Maybe I say on focus, on click of it, on double click of it, on mouse hover, mouse enter means hovering the mouse over it. So on the dot there will be some methods on it, and then what action you will do. So action will be some kind of a function. Maybe I will say I will do some kind of function. This brace is of the click. When you find this particular thing, selector, when it's selected and found that thing, or p tag, or IDs, or class, or something, because we have the tags the ID or class, then we will see how to select those things. So anything when you have selected, what action will you do? but first you have some kind of an event. Maybe you have some event, okay, on particular event. Say for example, on click, mouse over, mouse enter, mouse leave, mouse down, double click, or whatever. So what you will do, you will do some, maybe you will call this function, and in the function we will have the brace, and then we write in the function something, and we close the function, and we close this click and terminator. This is the syntax overall. And this thing, if you learn this one thing, you can do anything, any, whatever there is in a jQuery, you can do that, because this is the only syntax it has. So it's so simple to do things. Okay, so we have a dollar. Dollar is same as jQuery. Then a selector. It could be anything you want to find in your document, and then action is what you want to do. That may be some kind of a function. For example, $this.hide. So you have found that that's current object. Hide it. Find p, hide it. When you say dot, that means it's a class. It's a class. If you have forgot what is class, we have seen that in our, in case of your HTML. If you forget, for example, this is div tag. Okay, it can have an ID equals, say for example, I say it is my color div. For example, I'm putting up its name as color div ID, and then I got a class. Now class is equal to, say this is my special class, or whatever. I put up, this is my div, and then I write in a div something something something. I may have many more divs. Okay, all these divs have their specific IDs. These IDs can't be same. The ID have to be unique, but they can belong to the same class. The class is same. This special, class is special. So class will group things together. So for example, I want to put up the property to the class. So every class will have this property, and this is the method. This is the way we show the class. We say jQuery. This means dollar means jQuery. Then find what? Maybe if I am saying dot this special, that means all the tags with the special class, with the special class name as special. So class is what? Class means the group name. So every divs have the class name, and this will be applied to all those divs with the same class name. Dot, and then dot, what do you want to do with them? Say for example, here it is hide. So hide. So all those things will hide. Okay, this will be applied to all those. But if you want to work on an ID, then you have to use the hash. Say dollar double quote hash, whatever the name of the ID is. Say I say color div. I say color div here, dollar, then I'm saying in double quotes, I say pound sign or hash sign. It means the ID. I'm trying to find some ID whose name is color div. Okay, that means only this will be selected. Okay, on that basis you have to do some kind of an action, whatever the action you want to do. We'll see that in a code in a moment, and we want to do some action to that. Does it make sense? So this is the way usually you select some tag directly. Say button, you want to select some button, so you will say here what, dollar, then select that button, okay, and do something on that. Then kind of some kind of an action on that, on click, on whatever, do some function on that. Okay, but if you have to select the ID, you will say the hash. Okay, but if you have to say some class, then you have to use the dot operator. That's simple. The simple is dollar means jQuery. Then we are saying some kind of a selector here which you want to find something. I'm saying find something, dot, and do some action on it, whatever the action there is. Simple as it is. Does it make sense what I'm saying? It does make sense, I think. Now selectors, as I said, like I'm selecting the button. Look at this example here. This is the perfect example we have, and we'll see this in a code also in a moment. For example, the first line we say dollar means jQuery. I'm saying document, maximum times we put things in the document.ready. Document.ready means when the document is loaded fully. Your page, that document is loaded fully. We don't want to run the jQuery before the document is completely ready, before the document is loaded fully. This is what we do. If we don't write, still it will work fine. Okay, then we are saying a function. Okay, this is my function, and brace of the function. This is the brace of this function, because when you write some function, for example, I am writing a function, it has this brace, and you write something in the function. That's it. And then whatever you want to write here in this function, then you have to close this function, then you have to close this parenthesis, and you have to put up the terminator there, right, to end the syntax. So this is what we do. We say when the document is ready, do this thing from here to here. Okay, this ends here. And inside, if I don't write it, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter if I don't write it. It really doesn't matter if I don't write it. Okay, for example, I write only this thing. I want to say dollar button. That means selector, select something. I'm selecting a button this time, and I'm saying on its click, when this button is clicked, some button is clicked, okay, then do this function. Then do this function. Its brace is here, its brace is here, this click is closed here, and double quote is here. And do what? Dollar $P, when the button is clicked, find this P, the paragraph. Well, so it will select all the paragraphs we have, dot hide. So every paragraph, if you have a paragraph there, it will hide. And we put this together in dollar document, okay, dot ready. If the document is ready, then do this. Okay, this is the function, and I am putting this whole thing in this function, and this will be closed here, brace. That function, this function will be closed here, and its brace ready, the closing parenthesis of ready is here, and terminator is this. This is how it is done. Okay, does it make sense? So then there is an ID selector, hash, class selector will be like dot. If there is some class, do something, test. Here we are hiding only some class name and something like that. Okay, and then there are events. Say for example, the event is like click, double click, mouse enter, mouse leave, key press, and all those things. You can work on that also. Like for example, अगर paragraph पे click हो गया तो आप ये काम कीजिएगा, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if paragraph पे double click हो गया तो ये कीजिएगा. So whatever you want to do. Let us try our hands now on the code. The first thing is you have to go to the jQuery.com and download the compressed production file and put up in a project file where you want to do, or alternatively you use the path of this jQuery CDN, and you keep that in a script. Okay, if you open up this script, you can put up this thing. That means when you run the jQuery code, you should be online, because everything will be, we are getting the jQuery library online. But here we have jQuery library in our system. We do not need to have internet and all to run the jQuery code. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So let's go and open up our bracket and do the thing. Okay, I wrote the code here for getting it quickly done, because video length is already 18 minutes. What I'm saying here is, if you could see here, I have downloaded that file, and that is jQuery.here. I have put up in the same folder. In fact, this should be kept in a separate folder. Okay, in a separate folder, then you have to use that folder name. Maybe I put up jQuery, jq/jQuery. If you want to put it in a separate folder, that's here. This is where I downloaded that file from the jQuery.com, and it's here. Okay, and this is the index.html which I have created just. Okay, or you could create new folder and call it JS and put it in that jQuery, and then put here the jQuery/jq./jQuery whatever. Or if it is in the same folder, then you don't need to put up any folder path here. Now either you can use this source, that means my jQuery JS file, it is in the folder, it's downloaded wherever I use the jQuery, it will be loaded from that, or I can use the CDN, the same that source and then path and whatever that is. That means to download it every time from the online. So fetch it online, the jQuery code and libraries and all. So I don't want to do that. I can do both ways. That's not a problem. Either way, that or this way. Okay, and both way will work because I have this time the internet connection, so it doesn't matter. I have also created a style file here in my head tag. Okay, we keep these things usually in a head. In a style, I am putting up the FD. FD is the ID of the div tag. So div tag will be somewhere. I may have created div. Here is the div. Okay, as you could see, this is my div tag and its ID is FD. Okay, I can have the class name also something. Then I have to use the dot. If the class name, I have to use a dot. I have told you in a CSS those things already. I have taught that, and I have taught you how to put the CSS in a separate file and how to name it using the class and how to do things with the IDs and hash and dot. We have discussed that already. You may have forgot, that's why I'm revising this thing. Now there is a width, padding, text align center, background color is lime green, as you could see is coming up here, which is applied to this div tag. Okay, because div tag which has the ID FD, and this style is applied to this div tag. That's center, text is centered, it's a green and all those things. Margin from top is 20, and you could have many more things in it, which is here. Okay, okay. Now until now I'm using CSS and I'm using the simple HTML. I'm not using anything, and I'm putting up some p tags, my first paragraph, second paragraph, and so on and so forth. Now I am using the script tag. This is the script wherein I will do things. This is a script, and I'm saying dollar means jQuery. When I use the dollar in a script, it means jQuery. And then I have to select something. I'm selecting a button which is here. I have one button here whose name is click me. As you could see, this is the guy which is saying click me on the right, and I am telling the jQuery to select that button, and if the user clicks it, do this function, and parentheses of the function and brace start, the function brace start, and I'm saying alert, do something, do what? Alert, put up the dialog box, and I was clicked. The message should be I was clicked. Control S, save it. If I click it, okay, it should give me I was clicked, which is not happening. There is some syntax error maybe somewhere. Error is because I have used here HTML comments. It has to be the script comments. Okay, maybe this is the error, I don't know. Let us see. Refresh, click me. Yeah, it's I was clicked, so it's coming up now. So it is using the jQuery here. Okay, we can do better things using jQuery. I will show you a little bit. Then I'm using let me close this one. Let me close this one because I'm doing different job on the click. Control S. Now I am saying select the p tag wherever there is a p tag. Okay, these p tags which is here, 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 here. So what's happening to them? So I am saying dot on mouse enter when the mouse enters. So you see I'm using the dot twice. I'm using dot on and dot on here. So 2 times. I can do many times the same thing. And I'm saying p dot on mouse enter. If the mouse enters it, you call the function and you execute this CSS code. What you say is, you say background color red and font weight is bold and so on. And when mouse leaves, you use this function where you use this style. You create a style variable, and then which has a background of hash there and font weight is nothing, and then you apply this style using the CSS. Okay, so if we do it, I'm going here, is changing the red, and mouse move, after mouse move the color changes. Okay, when mouse is there, it changes to red and so on. So whenever I'm putting the mouse, that's mouse in, mouse leave. Okay, the next thing we do is about the button. I want to do with this div tag, for example, some kind of an animation and all. I'm saying firstly the document, $document means jQuery, dollar means jQuery, document is ready, means when something is ready, then do this function. In the function I'm doing this thing. I am selecting jQuery again, then button, I'm selecting a button, this button click me, dot click, when this is click it, do this thing, do this function. What is the function there? Select, I'm saying again the jQuery, select the FD is the div, the ID of the div. Okay, FD, where is it? Here it is. FD is the ID of the FD. So because it is an ID, so I'm using a hash. Okay, dot toggle. Toggle means hide and show. If I say hide, it will hide forever. But when the click is, you can, if it is hidden, if it is, you click, it will hide. You click again, it will toggle. Toggle, if it is hidden, it will be shown. If it is shown, it will be hidden. So it will come back and forth. And then there is some time, and I'm saying do it with the 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. In 1 second time, do this thing, hide and show. So if I save it, Control S, refresh it. If I click it, now you could see that this div tag is hiding and it is shown. It's kind of giving some kind of an animation here, right? But if I don't use this millisecond, 1 second timer, then it will only hide. And then when it is hidden, if say click me, refresh first, click me, it is hidden. If I click again, because it is hidden, it will be toggled, it will be shown. Okay, but if I put up here that milliseconds, that is 1 second, it is up to you how many seconds you want to put that toggle. Maybe I want to put that in a 2 seconds time. Control S, refresh. Then if you see, it will take 2 seconds to minimize and maximize, to hide and show this thing. So this gives kind of some kind of an animation. So overall, what we are saying is you have the selector and then some action using some kind of a function, right? Whatever you want to do is inside the function. Inside the function, you're again using some kind of selector and then using some kind of a function, what you want to do, right? Right. So this is the basic syntax. Now you can use, now you can go to the, I will also give you some notes, and you can go to this site and you can do anything in it. You can select the Ajax, you can select the HTML, you can select you can have some effects like fade, slide, animate, stop, callback, chaining. Okay, go to this site and do one by one each and everything. Okay, then see you next time. What will we do next time? jQuery UI. Till then, take good care of yourself. Masalama.